Today I'm going to be reviewing this DeeRC Z67RC plane that was recently sent to me by the brand. Now I'm going to go ahead and go outside and test it, but I did want to kind of open it up in here so you can kind of get a general idea of what it's going to look like, what assembly is required, if any, that sort of thing. So this is going to be made of styrofoam, so you can kind of see what that looks like. The battery is going to go right inside of here. Now that is going to mean you do need to be careful with this when you are assembling it and also when you are using it, since it's going to be made of styrofoam. So it does have a look like an airline plane or a jet. Comes with two little batteries that's going to be in there, as well as the charger. Comes with, looks like, an additional piece here if you do end up breaking yours. And then things for that. I'm not seeing a remote. Oh, there it is. It's on the other side. Okay. So there's the remote on the other side. So I'm going to go and open this up, put batteries in this, and see what the assembly process is supposed to look like. I do want to mention this is going to require 3 AAA batteries that are not going to be included. So you do need to have some AAA batteries laying around for the remote, and then the plane itself is going to be rechargeable. It's just going to have a little screw that's right on here that holds those in place. You can either use that screw or not use that screw after you get it out the first time, but it does include a little screwdriver as well for that. Now, this is going to require a little bit of assembly. You essentially have to take this wire and plug it right into here. It only goes in the one way, so essentially where the prongs are up against that side, you're going to do the same thing when plugging this in to that. And this is going to be detailed here in the instructions telling you where to put it in. Then you are going to clip it in together like so. So this part goes into there. So you can kind of see where the holes are at. So this is just going to go holes, and those are all going to line right up like so. And those just kind of push right into there. You're going to take these included screws, and there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. You're going to put them down into there and then tighten with that screwdriver. Essentially, you're attaching this part of the wings to the body of the plane with these screws. So those 3 little holes that it clips down into, that's what you're connecting this up to. So again, a little bit of assembly required, not difficult or anything like that, but just a little bit of assembly. So you're just going to put the screws one at a time right down into there, and then put that right into there, and then grab your little screwdriver and tighten those up so that way it holds the pieces together. Next, you're going to attach the landing gear. So it kind of shows you here, it should go in like this. This just kind of squeezes down and goes into position like so, and then that locks into place. And then same thing on the rear landing gear. This is then going to slide right into there like that. Maybe this goes just kind of right under there. There we go. You just kind of have to squeeze it to get that in place. So now your landing gear is in place. Next, you're going to install one of your batteries. So right underneath this clip right here, this just kind of pops right out, it looks like. Maybe. It's supposed to. There we go. You've got that little guy right there. If you can't quite get him to pull out, just use your screwdriver to pull it out. And then this is going to be the 2-prong connector for your battery. So you're just going to kind of put that right into there, push it down. You can also do your battery in first, like so, and then that just goes right on top. And then this part, wherever it went, oh, it actually didn't come off. That part just clips right back over the top. The last and final step before you're ready to fly is to just connect this up with that, right? So I'm going to turn this on. That's going to flash. Then on the bottom here, you're going to have an on-off switch as well. Then the lights on this should flash as well, has the red light. So you're just going to take and push up and down, and then that connects it, right? Whoa. Okay, so now that is going to be what controls the propellers that are going to be on the back. And you are going to want, there's a couple ways you can take off. One, you can take off on the ground, which I'm going to try in the grass. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. It'd be best on concrete, of course. But then this is going to be the turn, right? So you can see it's going to control the left or the right ones based on how you're trying to turn it. And then that's going to be forward, the throttle, so up and down on this. Now, they do recommend this for ages 14 up because it is going to be more complicated than, say, a drone that may be easier to take off. So you can take it off with a, like on a landing strip. You can also take it off by just kind of throwing it and doing the throttle at the same time. So let's go ahead and go outside and test this out. Now, I apologize in advance if this is not going to take off in the grass. I'm also going to try it here on a picnic table. We actually don't have any concrete here at our house. I'm going to try it on the grass, and yeah, it's not going to move. So it's just not going to create enough propulsion because this body is kind of sitting on the grass. So it's going to need something hard. So whether that is a picnic table, as is the case here, whether that is, some concrete, whatever the case might be, I'm hoping that it will take off off of here. Maybe I should start a little bit further back. Now it does say it helps if there's not a ton of wind. Today's not too windy, so I'm hoping that it'll be all right. And it also does say it's best to take off into the wind, but again, not really sure. So here is test flight number 1. I have never flown this plane before, so we're going to see how it goes. I'm doing throttle. Yeah, and it did not get up at all. All right, so not sure if it's because of the slope of that. Let me try it another direction. So this is just the throttle. This is actually going to have an up or a down as well. So you are going to need to push the up or the down as well as the throttle. So let me try this again. Okay, we flew a little bit further. I'm not sure if it needs to be up or down. Oh, this has little arrows on up or down. So I think I need to push this to up and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so I think I figured it out on the remote. So you are going to want to push this down and then the throttle up at the same time. I was able to get it airborne, but then I ended up running into that little tree over there. So I'm going to try and get airborne and then turn it. So here we go. I'm pushing down, throttle up, and I'm caught in the crack. Now I got a pretty decent flight out of it, to be honest, for just the first couple times that I've messed with it. The 14 and up is probably going to be accurate because there is a lot of nuance to it, because you really have to keep the throttle at a certain speed while pushing up, down, left, right, etc. to be able to kind of get a level, fly it around, that sort of thing. Once you get the throttle figured out, you're off the ground, then you can easily do the adjust the other portions of it. So left, right, up, down, etc. on the stick. So it is kind of cool. The up and down is going to be, it's going to move this part on the back and also going to do those. And then the left, right is going to turn one or the other of those as well, of the little propellers. So overall, definitely a really cool RC plane from DeeRC.